25, faith has come. We are no longer under a guardian, for in Christ Jesus, you are all sons of God through faith. Here is the relationship reestablished with God through Christ. Those who were kicked out and excluded from God's presence, in Christ we are brought back in and reunited with God. And he says, listen, now the law is no longer at the forefront. The law has been satisfied now. The law moves out of the way because the law has to teach us first. Until I get Christ, you still ain't right. You still ain't got it together. You still will bust hell wide open if you try to do it on your own. But if you got Christ, there's a way of access. There's a way to get back in. And this is what Romans 10:4 says. For not knowing about God's righteousness, which is based on faith. Do you hear that? The way to get right with God is not by doing something. The way to get right with God is by believing something. You see the difference? You still will do something. But your hope is not in what you do. Your hope is in what he has done. That's why even on our bad days, we still got hope, because it ain't resting on me. Those who fall can get back up, because my hope is resting on what he did, and he did it perfectly. He says, Christ, for not knowing about God's righteousness, which is based on faith, and seeking to establish their own righteousness based on works, they did not submit to God's righteousness or way to get right. For Christ is the end of the law. It leads to him, and his purpose is fulfilled in him. Remember that. The law's purpose is fulfilled in him. Meaning, everything it says we're supposed to do, he did it. And all the stuff that it says we should die for because we didn't do it, he died for it. So the purpose of the law is now set. It says God is right and I'm wrong. God knows what's best.